Thursday at President Baruch's open forum, he announced the establishment of this revenue task force, which would sort of address the situations that we're dealing with here, try to come up with some answers. And he specifically said that there would be no members of the board of trustees on this task force. I'm curious what sort of interaction you anticipate with these folks, and what, if any, legal obligations you have to follow any suggestions or recommendations that we have.
I don't know if we have legal obligations. Again, following those suggestions is really an administration policy. If there's a budget required for that, then the board approves budgetary requests, you know, if it's anything substantial. That's an administration, that's part of the administration's job. Of course, we want to be kept informed of what's happening. We want to know what's going on.
Right. So I have just some few definitional questions first to make sure we're on the same page with them. So, like, we've been talking a lot about being responsible. And for me, being responsible means making conscious decisions, thoughtful, that benefit both oneself and others. Do you agree with that?
Sounds reasonable.
And then, I mean, it also means for me that whatever decisions you make or actions you take, then you will be responsible for the consequences, for better or for worse. So, I mean, if a friend of mine breaks a vase, he'll like pay for it, and even if it had a crack before, it wasn't broken. Would you agree with that? Like I would say
that's a question for Randy Cohen, the ethicist at the New York Times. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, would you define a responsible person as someone that takes responsibility for the actions he has done?
I think that's a definition of it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, everyone likes being responsible because you do get to be in positions of responsibility, which usually are also positions of leadership. And these positions of leadership are nice because you get to make decisions and you tell people what to do, but obviously you also need to, I mean, I'll get to the question. We're having a thought process. But then, I mean, obviously being in a position of leadership, you also have some drawbacks. Like, for instance, I believe you have a moral duty to act as an example for all the people that you lead, right?
It's not a question. This is a comment.
All right, let me get to the question. Now, sometimes you get leaders. Sometimes you do, unfortunately, have irresponsible people in positions of leadership. But I really hope this is not the case. But definitely, I know that in this situation, prospective students have no responsibility in the school's financial situation. So if you are in a position of leadership, are you willing to take the responsibility for the previous actions that have been taken, or are you going to make the students who have no responsibility in the institution's financial situation pay for these faults? The future students do not have any responsibility in the financial situation of the school. So why are they the ones that are paying for the situation?
Maybe because they're getting an education that we can no longer afford. I mean, that's the basic answer. That's the problem. None of us are happy that we have to look at tuition as a possibility. But unless people step up to the plate and donate enough or come up with ideas to raise enough money, that possibility may come to be. It's not something that we can wish away.
You have a question here.
Do you guys hear me?
Yes.
I would like to know what portion of the budget you're going to hold the development officers to raise, and why we allowed a failure in the development department to continue for so long.
Again, well, the administration is in charge of running the day-to-day operations of the school. The board hires the president hires everybody else. That's the chain of command, proper governance. The efforts that were being done, unfortunately, did not give us the results we were looking for. And that's why the board requested that the president, the former president, hire a vice president for development. And that was done, and the development department's being built up. We noticed the lack, we noticed that there could be more done, and we've asked for that to be done. That's the job of the board.
So what percentage of the budget do you expect them to be able to pull in?
Again, I don't know that there's a number for that, but I'd say, again, as much as possible. Whatever that number comes out to be.
Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. I'm just wondering, and ask because I'll do it back, but should it come to pass that the board of trustees of the union decides that tuition should be the way to go, and the student community and the faculty community and all of the alumni community disagree and can show sort of solidarity in that disagreement, is there any recourse for the non-board of trustees Cooper community to show like a vote of no confidence in the board of trustees or ask for a dissolution of the body and reconstitution of the body? Is there any, does the Cooper community that is not board of trustee members have any recourse if there's a sort of community-wide disagreement with how that
Okay.
would go down?
I think if we came to that point, no matter what body you would replace us by, if they were responsible, you know, they would be left with no other choice either. If you
Is there
don't,
recourse? Is there actual action by the community?
I don't honestly know of any. I can't see any. I mean, if there's no money to support the school, or not enough money to support the full tuition scholarship program, by definition, it can't continue because we don't have money for it. So,
It's a small group of people deciding that, right? And a different group of people with different
it's not a matter of a small group of people deciding. You know, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Nobody's entitled to their own facts. Okay, and that's just the way it works. If we don't have money for it, no matter who wants to be unhappy about that,